So who are you? Who are you really? How many yous comprise you on a daily basis? Are you the covert person? The covert personality that you save when you're alone? Are you the pleasure-seeking aspects of yourself that has a full-blown personality and is attached and linked to your cravings, your wants, your desires, and they're not your deepest. They're just the most penetrating, if you will. Are you the benevolent, giving, selfless person? And even more so, when you look at all these personalities, and there's more to boot, which one do you put forth as the quote-unquote real you? Right? Because that person is the one that you are gaslighting others into and propagandizing, just as if you're a politician, for status, for your status here. You know, people look past there being value in just being alive in society, even though society is pretty much hell and being around other people is hell. You vie, some steal, some kill, some a whore is a thief, is a liar. Some will go to any lengths to lie. Ultimately, it's a con. And then ultimately stealing in the hyper ultimate state, the uber ultimate state, it's to steal the glory and to justify it, to steal the glory from your fellow, even though you know your fellow is more in line with the pure aspects of principles than you are. But because they are not focused on the false laughter in a brand, you have to ask yourself what's really funny. And then you have to ask yourself, even more so, is if you are more in line with principles and you're joking about things, and then instant karma, instant lesson, you realize, I can't joke about this. This is a very serious topic, a very serious issue. And this has been thrown in my face. So I'm going to learn to quiet myself. I'm going to learn to chill back. I'm going to learn to be still. I'm going to learn to listen and watch. Not only the outside, but the phenomenon that's happening within. And that's what this is about. This little video is about the fact that when we talk about the phenomenon, it has made its way, I believe, prior to birth, with a codified imprint of a self, not unlike, a digitized mechanical computer motherboard piece of technology that plays on the strings of, literally on the strings of our DNA, our Meriden lines, and connecting out into these torsion field ley line energy systems that then connect into highway systems that connect through the cosmos. And we won't even get into the quarks and the sub-molecular universe that comprises us, but that when we look at master control systems, and we believe in a democracy, we believe in a collective, we believe in a power to the masses and the numbers. How many billions of organisms live within you? I don't believe Dolores Cannon at all. Sometimes I'll post things just anecdotally, but I feel like there are disinformationalists that are put there at a certain time, ahead of time often, to stop messages from getting to you that you are in an outright war, and that the mentalism is your power. Like, to be able to mentally take things apart, literally, and to be able to fight against the falsity that's outside you and within you. And I think that the intrinsic aspects of this war need to be taken much more seriously. And even though comedy is such a relief, and it's so it's so necessary for these breaks in the seriousness of this matter, as new information comes out about it, there's going to be a very hard, perplexing state of mind, a solemn state of mind that'll sweep across the world soon, universally speaking, cosmically speaking, a time and era that we're going into, very serious nature of things. And you have to ask yourself, what was really funny in the first place? Is your sense of humor aligned with a purity? Can you laugh at just pure situational comedy, as opposed to vitriolically, sardonically making fun of other people at other people's expense? And what are you really laughing at when you're doing that? You're stealing the glory of other people, and rightly so, because they want to get to the well before you do, right? They want their kids, their children are an extension of their narcissistic selves. Through conformism, they have a master plan that they think nobody can see, but there is something extremely aware of your ulterior motives, your covert motives, your clandestine motives, and it's not really you. And you'd go through an existential crisis, definitely, but you'd go through a crisis that would be part and parcel to a fractionating breakdown. If you really took all the Jungian psychology and you put it together, you'd see, it's almost like being in a room full of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of pieces of paper. And one of those pieces of paper has a key phrase, right? That is the code to unlock yourself. And there's no way that you can ever ascertain that piece of paper, because there is no recollection of you. So the amnesia, the amniotic fluid that we are sent through and travel through, there is a self. There is a self that is resonant to the rest of space, if you will, and goes on through interdimensional travel, because it is a codified number system, and our telomeres are putting that information out in a very minute and secretive sort of way, communicating with those that we align with, right, in harmony. And why are these chemtrails being sprayed with all the aluminum, and why is the sun suddenly such a hot topic, literally, Helios, right? To refract and detach us from a certain element of what the sun and the Son of God and all these acronyms and euphemisms and correlations back to not a solar deity, but the deity within that is unlocked by way of the light of pure reason, which isn't a stretch in terminology or wordage, but is in fact a big part of a broader, bigger picture, where we obviously vie, if we are from a pure source, to live in the light and never live in the shadows again. And I think that karmically, perhaps as prisoners re-embodied, we have gotten all too comfortable living in the shadows to where we have forgotten anything else.